Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Sklar, and we're back for another episode here to educate all of you about the world of egg donation or using an egg donor. And I am here today with Dion from Your Eggs. Thanks so much for joining, Dion.
Hi, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get started, Happy New Year to you, to everyone watching.
Yes.
It's 2025.
Yay.
Super excited to be in a new year. With new year comes new possibilities, new hopes, hopefully new possibilities and dreams come true for your fertility journey in 2025. So that's what we're praying for all of you. Part of that process is egg donation for many of you, and so that's what we're going to be talking about today. I thought it would be nice as we start the new year to talk about just advancements, breakthroughs, changes that we can expect and hopefully foresee in 2025 in the egg donation industry, but also with your eggs. So, you know, I think a good place for us to start is like, what do you see changing or you know, being different or new in 2025 for your eggs as an agency?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. Something that I am excited about before we get into, some more of the technology advancements for Your Egg specifically is the opportunity that we've been building on of working with fertility centers across the country. We've really been privileged recently to work with some wonderful centers, and it's really exciting because in the past we had a lot of the IPs coming directly to us, but now we have more fertility centers who are leading IPs to us. We recently worked with a center out of Colorado who did have their own internal egg donor agency, but it was very small. And, many of their IPs were struggling with finding the right match, but of course wanted to keep working with them, had this established relationship, loved the physicians and all of the clinical staff there. And then they had one of their coordinators reach out to us and since we have such a large fresh donor database, reach out to us. And we've been able to match several of their IPs to donors here at Your Eggs who have then traveled out to Colorado. Actually, one was from Colorado, but then some of the others were from other places, travel out there and help their IPs. And it's been really exciting to be able to help more intended parents who are already working with established fertility centers across the country. And I look forward to doing more of that.
So that's one of the goals for Your Eggs is to do more of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from a personal perspective.
Great. So wanting to expand your reach to other clinics throughout the country?
Yeah. So, if, you are watching this and you are, affiliated either as an intended parent, a patient, or as someone who works at a fertility center, we'd love to have you reach out to us and to see, how we can, how we can work together to help your current patients and, and be more successful at your fertility centers.
Awesome. That's a wonderful goal for 2025 and something that I think is totally accomplishable,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So
Yes.
I like that. In the world today and in 2024, we saw a lot of this. It started in 2023 and before, this like huge shift with AI, right? Like
Yes.
AI has just started to infiltrate everywhere in our world. Many of us kind of see it on our phones and in different technology. It's being used in places we can't even think about or imagine as well.
Right.
How is AI, I guess the first question is AI being used in egg donation? And how is it going to be used in 2025?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're, right at the cusp of seeing these changes, and it is really exciting. It's never going to take away the personalized aspect of egg donation, which is the most important part. But it is helping to make an impact on helping us to service the intended parents even better. One of the exciting advancements is enhanced donor matching.
Okay.
Where we can use AI to analyze vast databases of different donors' profiles, taking into account not just some of the basic traits that intended parents are looking at, like physical characteristics and education level, but also more nuanced factors like detailed genetic information, medical history, and even, some of them are even doing facial features now so that to help intended parents find a donor match if that's important to them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So with AI, it sounds like the matching process can be sped up, so we save time.
Yes.
and theoretically could be a little bit more precise or exact with the details that they're looking for?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more comprehensive, and streamlining the process and being able to take more factors into consideration that are important for the intended parents. And this is where having a large, fresh donor database is really important when you're going to start fine-tuning for these, finer characteristics.
Super cool. So those were, that was already being done in 2024 to some degree?
So yeah, I think that some egg donor agencies were just starting with that, and we're starting to see that technology being applied more. But I think we'll see much more of that in 2025.
And that's a plan for your eggs as well,
Yes.
to incorporate that.
Yes, incorporate more of that
Where
this year.
couples want it.
Yes.
in
Absolutely.
2025.
Yes, because some people, they'll just watch a video of a donor, after putting in
That's
just a
it.
few characteristics, and they know this is the right match. This feels right.
Got
and
it.
then other people, they may want to put in pictures of themselves, and have a comparison done. And then the genetic characteristics are very important, especially once the male who'll be using his sperm, those genetic characteristics to be analyzed with the different donors' characteristics to find the perfect match.
Awesome. So, in the egg donation process, there's several steps,
Yes.
as you know, and I kind of am clarifying that for our viewers, right? We have to find the right donor, which is what you just talked about, and
Right.
AI can help with finding the right donor.
Yes.
And then once we get those eggs and fertilize them with, the partner's sperm and create embryos, is AI being used on the embryo selection side of things? So let's just say they have 10 or 15 embryos to choose from. Does it do
Yeah.
something there?
Absolutely, and I think we'll be seeing this in all of the fertility world, like you're talking about embryo selection,
Okay.
as well as egg selection, which can be used as well for egg donation. They can analyze images of the oocytes, and using advanced AI image processing, they can better assess egg viability and quality to help them come with more informed decisions. So I think we'll be seeing more of that. And then, like you said, the embryo selection as well, using the time-lapse videos of the embryo development, it can identify those with the highest potential for implantation.
That's super cool. So I know that photography and time-lapse, watching the embryos develop over time has been used for many years already.
Right,
But
exactly.
this AI piece is refining it even more.
Yes, allowing them
Got
to
it.
analyze it more, to pick out characteristics that, are going to be yielding the highest results. So I think we'll continue to see advancements in that technology with
Okay.
AI being used in it.
I mean, super cool. I love AI. I think
Yeah.
the place it's going is super fascinating to me. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like asking these questions, because if I have these questions, I imagine many of you have these same questions. So typically, when when someone is going through an egg retrieval process, they're given medication and having a protocol that's assigned to them,
Yeah.
that one of the doctors at the IVF clinic determines is the appropriate protocol for them. And in the past, some of the things that they've used to create that protocol is, let's say, height and weight and medical history, and they're looking at the lab work to determine, okay, I can give a little bit more of one medication, a little bit less of another medication. Is AI already being used, or will it be used moving forward on the treatment side of things for some of these donors? And I guess that would kind of infuse into all of IVF, but we're talking about donors, so.
Yeah, I think we'll, like you said, see more of that as well, because it can now analyze patients' individual data, like you said, from hormone levels to genetic markers, and taking all of that into account to help personalize the treatment plan even further, with the reproductive endocrinologist.
Yeah, I could see that
oversight.
benefiting so much, because as a reproductive endocrinologist in an IVF clinic, you have these ideas, you put them down. Let's just say that donor's been through multiple cycles. You can take all that information, put it into the system, analyze it, and be like, which is the best protocol? How should we do this? Obviously someone's making the final decision, but that's super cool.
Yeah, to continue to optimize
Awesome.
optimize the results for the patients and egg donors going through the retrievals.
So on the donor side of things, I think if you've watched any of our videos in the past, you understand that as an agency, we have to have a screening process, and Your Eggs has a in-depth screening process
Yeah.
to filter out donors. We take that very seriously here at Your Eggs. But is or can AI be used on that side as well for screening?
Definitely. As we have talked about before, we do have a very big, large donor database, over 2,000 active donors. But from that, we have over 100,000 applications coming in. So as you can imagine, this is a very time-consuming process to go through this rigorous screening. And AI can be used to streamline that process. Can automate some of it to identify potential disqualifying factors, such as some genetic testing results or some medical history that might not make someone an ideal candidate as an egg donor. So we can definitely be using that to continue to ensure that all donors are meeting the highest standards. Yeah.
Awesome. I love this. But in the back of my head, every time I think about like AI and computers and technology, growing up, I have this image of me sitting in front of a TV watching the movie Terminator, and I could see where besides watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, you could see where technology could go bad. Right. So,
yes.
As an industry, and certainly within Your Eggs, are there steps we're taking to make sure that ethically everything's being taken care of, and to mitigate any challenges that arise from using AI and technology?
Yeah, as you know, we're seeing a lot of that in the press now, and of course, that's of utmost importance, especially when you're talking about anything medical, right? So. Of course, data privacy, informed consent. If people know that their pictures or something, or that it's going to be analyzed from an AI perspective, we want to make sure that everyone's fully aware of everything that's happening. And we also have to be careful with certain biases that may be in the system.
Sure.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. So definitely making sure that it's being used responsibly is most important.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Just make sure if I have that question, you all have that question.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe didn't think about it in the exact same way that I did, but there are those concerns that we have to take into account as we start to have technological advances. So awesome. With these changes, technology advancements, I think accessibility to these sorts of technologies and access is something that always comes up. Is it, or how is it impacting the affordability of egg donation and IVF, or finding or using an egg donor? Is the technology changing things on accessibility and cost?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think, we're yet to see how much it will, but it does seem to have the possibilities of reducing cost. We're talking about improving both egg quality as well as embryo quality and selection. Hopefully reducing number of cycles that may be able to do, and passing some of this cost savings onto intended parents when they're going through this.
Got it. So, for those watching, I don't know if you're aware, but often it takes more than one IVF cycle or transfer to be successful with IVF. And if these advancements, if this technology can reduce the amount of cycles, this is what I hear you saying, if the technology can reduce the amount of cycles that someone goes through, so instead of, let's say, 3 cycles, they could do 2 or 1, even better, then the cost dramatically decreases there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And that's, we're talking in fertility in general, not just an egg donor. Egg donor has much, higher success than general IVF because of egg donors, but definitely in general, passing some of that cost onto the intended parents as well as patients, going through fertility treatment throughout the world. That's great.
So, do you guys have any stories to share? Do you have any stories of people who have used some of this AI matching and that's been successful?
Yeah, so we did have a couple who really wanted, some of the facial features as well as, some of the genetics to be analyzed through AI to have a better match for themselves. And, they were really excited to be able to, the donor they ended up with, they said they wouldn't actually, maybe have been able to narrow it down to her and see the similarities until they used the AI database in order to, some of the tools in order to find the donor that they realized was their perfect match.
Oh, super cool. So in terms of wrapping things up, there's obviously the technology side of things that AI is being infused to in all steps of the IVF and egg donor process, whether it's in selection at various stages of things or hopefully increasing success rates. So that's fantastic. On a more personal note, one of the things that Your Eggs wants to do is really connect more with premier clinics throughout the country and be able to utilize their services for their intended parents and donors, which is more of a personalized thing. So again, as a reminder, Dion already asked all of you, but if you are an IVF clinic who's looking for a donor agency with a large pool of donors and a wide variety of donors, then I encourage you to reach out to us at Your Eggs. You can just go to youreggs.com to reach out to our team. But also, if you are a couple intended parents who are using an amazing clinic and you think that it would be wise for us to connect with them, please let us know as well. So Dion, thanks so much. This was an awesome episode. I found it super valuable and interesting. I hope all of you did as well. So thank you for all your information today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and Happy New Year's to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Happy New Year to everyone. Let's make 2025 amazing, and we hope that all of you have your families of your dreams in 2025. Please make sure to like this video, leave some comments and questions if you have them down below, and make sure you hit that bell to subscribe so you find out when we put out another video for all of you. And we will see you all in our next video.